How to talk to sellers like a pro. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm gonna talk to you about building rapport with sellers, right? We're not gonna go deep on scripting, right? And those types of language hacks, the things that there are plenty of courses out there on, there's plenty of scripts out there that you can download. This isn't a Chris Voss, how to split the difference negotiation video, right? If you wanna go deep on that, there's plenty of resources for that out there. What I'm gonna talk to you guys about today are these 5 key elements that I look to unpack with sellers, whether it's over the phone or in person. Ideally, those in-person appointments where you can build rapport, but if you're virtual wholesaling or if you're buying all over the country and you can't necessarily go and meet with a seller in person, then you likely are doing these things over the phone. So in no particular order, I'm gonna work through these things. And again, these are just bullet points. These are just some things you wanna go into appointments thinking about and then trying to have conversations around, right? Meandering through a dialogue with someone and getting clarity around where they are. So firstly, simple location. Where is this subject property located in proximity to other subject properties, to other properties you may or may not have bought, you may or may not have rehabbed, right? If this is a market that you farm, you're gonna wanna understand the location, but then you're gonna wanna understand from them, how is their house situated on the particular lot? How do they feel about the location? Are they on busy double yellow? Do they have some noisy neighbors? Do they start complaining about their neighbors, their neighborhood when you talk about the location with them? Again, this is about just starting a dialogue and just getting some clarity around things, right? No particular order. So we want to understand a little bit more about the location. Then what we want to know is what's their personal situation, right? This one likely more important than location. Probably the most important of all 5 is understanding their situation. What's going on in their life that's prompting them to sell the house? Do they need to move? Did their son-in-law get a job in North Carolina and now since he's had to relocate, taken their grandchildren with him, now they've decided they need to sell so they can move down there to be with them, right? That's a very relevant example. That's exactly what we've had to work through with a seller in the past. So understanding their situation, right? What else is going on in their life? Has there recently been a family event? Did someone pass away? These are the kinds of things we want to be conscious of. We want to be compassionate, but we also want to understand because it's going to work into what we can possibly offer for the subject property. And then taking that one step further, what's their motivation, right? We've talked about location, situation, and now what's their motivation? How motivated are they? Do they need to get down there to be with their grandchildren yesterday? Is this like, I'd like to be out of here in 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, right? We want to understand how motivated are they? Are they up against something with a bank? Is there some sort of financial challenge? Are they at risk of losing the home? Is that happening soon? Are they motivated because they need to take action quickly? So understanding their motivation, having a conversation around that. Ultimately, kind of getting into talks of expectation around valuation, right? So what are their expectations of you as the buyer of their home? Because they've likely done the Zillow stuff. They've probably talked to an agent and maybe they haven't. Maybe that'll be your responsibility to educate them on how that works. Or maybe they've spoken to some wholesalers who have made them a bunch of empty promises. Maybe they've already been down this road and they've been burned. So what are their expectations of working with you, right? That's where you come in and differentiate yourself as someone who will do what they say and say what they do, right? Someone who's reliable, someone who's dependable. That's going to be your opportunity to differentiate yourself, right? So understanding their expectations and then trying to find an alignment there. And then ultimately the last thing you'll ever talk about is the valuation. Like where are they at mentally with what they think their house is worth? And they'll often say, well, we don't know, right? They'll want you to give them the first number. Well, you never do that, right? You never do that. What you do is say, well, what are your expectations around? Do you know what you're looking to get out of the house? Have you seen houses in the neighborhood trade? You start asking questions to kind of flesh out from them where they think the value is. And they have the internet. They've been on Zillow, right? Regardless of how technologically challenged they appear, trust that they've been on Zillow. And if they haven't, they've had a relative go on Zillow and tell them what Zillow says the house is worth, which we all know is gibberish, but anyway, it's a place to start. And so at the end, that's the conversation that you're ultimately having after you've had a conversation about all the other things around their situation, around their motivation, around their expectation. You've talked about the location, right? Now you're talking valuation at the very end. It's the last thing you should ever talk about. And so again, this isn't meant to be a scripted negotiation strategy type video. It's more so, hey, here's these 5 things we want to be mindful of when we engage in dialogue with prospective sellers. So I hope this video is helpful. I hope these bulleted list, I hope these 5 items serve you as you start negotiating with sellers, as you start having conversations with prospective sellers. If so, if you found value in this video, feel free to share it with anyone else in your network. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.